Hey guys, it's been a while since we've done Art Club with Miss Burford, where we will be creating Rainbow Raindrop Mobiles. For this, you will need either jewellery or fishing wire, Pritt stick, scissors, heavy metal beads, a pencil, white card in the colours of the rainbow, and some kind of cookie cutter or template that you're going to use for your raindrops. Let's start with the cloud. So with your white sheet of card, have it portrait in front of you and fold this down the centre line so it's like you're folding a paper aeroplane. From the folded part of your page, about a third of the way down the paper, you want to start drawing your cloud. So you're going to go from the centre part of your cloud and you're going to draw the bubbles around. So try and imagine half a circle to start with for the top point of your cloud, and then keep following these scalloped edge shapes. You can see that I did tighter scallops around the top and then looser scallops along the bottom, and just cut along these lines to create some lovely curves. You need to keep your paper folded at this point so that you get an exact replica of this shape on your other side when you unfold it. Now this cloud that you've just cut out is going to be a template for 2 more clouds. You want 3 cloud shapes all together. And I'm going to line this up with the centre of the paper. So you'll see that the centre fold on the cloud is lined up with the fold on the paper that's left. Sorry, not the paper, the card. And if I've worked this out correctly, then 3 of these clouds, all in a row above each other, should all fit on one page. So the next step is to draw around this cloud. However, you can see that I have miscalculated this slightly, so the next step is to go back to the beginning and make our cloud a little bit smaller by only cutting the top bit so that the scalloped edges come down a little bit lower, about a centimetre lower than what they are now. This new rectified cloud is going to be our new template. So again, just draw around this cloud and you should be able to fit 3 on a page this time. As you can see, it's a lot lower down than the other one. If you want to, you can divide the page into 3 so you've got a marker for a third of the way up, so this doesn't happen. However, I like to do this as trial and error so that children can learn from it. Once you've cut out these 3 cloud shapes, you're going to start assembling them so that they all join together to create a 3D cloud. So you're going to put 2 together. If you see, I'm just laying them next to each other, and where the fold is, I'm just going to glue up to that fold, and so that 2 sides of the clouds fit together. So if you have a little look, I'm going to name them A and B. So I'm putting side A and A together on here just with some glue. I'll leave both sides B unglued for the moment until we are certain what we're doing next. So if you look, I've laid them together, I've pushed them flat together so they're nice and stuck together, and then I'm just going to fold this part open so that we can lay our fishing wire, or I've used jewellery wire in this case, quite a thin one so it's not sharp or anything. This one's almost like a cord actually, it's like a plastic cord. I don't know what you want to call this really. But anyway, you're going to create a hoop at the top, as this is where you're going to hang your mobile from, and just put a little knot in the bottom of there so you've got enough room for it to hang from a hook somewhere, and then just place this down the centre, the rest of the string or cord, whatever you want to call it, down the centre of where this fold is on the cloud. Now from your first cloud that you had, you're going to use side B to connect to your new cloud that you haven't currently stuck down. So that's going to stick to side B on the cloud that hasn't been stuck down. But first, before you do that, you need to make sure that that cord is in place down the centre of that fold so that it's going to be held into place without needing extra glue to hold the cord into place. Now side B from the second cloud that we had in the beginning can be attached to side A on the new cloud that we've just added. Let's move on from the cloud and start doing our raindrops, so you can decide on what shape you want these to be. I'm just using a cookie cutter heart. We have done raindrops before, we just do a class vote to decide what shape we want to do, and this time they voted on hearts. So just draw around your cookie cutter heart onto each of the colours of the rainbow. So we started with red, and we did again 3 hearts, just like you did 3 clouds, because you want 3 sides to it to make it 3-dimensional. If you want to, of course, you can create templates on the computer and print these off for the children to draw around instead, so they've got a choice of shapes. I've also done this in the past, but this is specifically a no prep lesson, which is why we're using cookie cutters. Cut these 3 hearts out and then repeat the step with each colour of the rainbow. Next, we need to take the time to fold each heart down the line at symmetry so that it's equal on both sides. And you need to do this for each and every heart, just like your clouds had to fold down each of them before they're assembled. This can take a while. I'd just like to take a moment to say, if the children are finding that the hearts aren't matching up to be symmetrical, when it comes to assembling them later on and they have stuck them back to back like we did before, that is a time where we can neaten up the edges and go around them with scissors so that they look a bit more uniform. Now onto the tricky part. Repeating what we did with the clouds earlier, we're going to do this with each coloured heart as well. So first of all, we're going to do the red hearts. So up to that folded line, we're going to glue on the outer part of the heart, but just to the folded line, and get another folded heart and glue it back to back, just like we did with the cloud. And for now, we're just going to leave it as that, to leave that glue to dry a little bit before we add the other heart on later. And we're going to do this with each of the colours. So you should end up with a partly assembled heart of each colour, and then just one heart as it was cut out and folded. This is the point where we can start attaching them. So where you have those 2 hearts glued back to back, where you've got that open side, so you have a full heart, put the glue on there, all over there, and then put your jewellery cord or your fishing wire through the centre, just like you did with the cloud, so that that line goes through the centre of the heart, and then add on your heart of the same colour that hasn't yet been attached or assembled at all, and this will finish your 3-point heart, or your 3-sided heart. Repeat this process for each coloured heart and try and keep it in the order of colour of the rainbow. And in between the hearts you want to leave a gap. It's up to you on what size gap you want to leave. I think mine was roughly about 5 centimetres. I didn't measure it, I just did it by eye. As you can see, I've added all of the hearts to the wire, and they are in the order that the colours appear in the rainbow. And then at the end, you want to add a heavy bead. So I've used 2 metal beads just to add some weight, otherwise it won't hang straight and it doesn't move around in the way it needs to move around really. So just add on your beads. You might need to help them tie up the cord at the end just so that the bead doesn't come off. I had to tie a knot several times to make a knot large enough just so that the bead doesn't come off. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more Art Club with Miss Burford. I will try and upload more frequently again. I'm just not sure when I'm going to have time to at the moment. And I'll see you again for more Art Club with Miss Burford.